Question number 1. What recognizable political office holder and what other person in your life have most helped form your views and values and influenced your choices? Please name these 2 people and how they have impacted you. Mr. Carlson.
Thank you. My grandfather, Gustav, came to this country in 1900. He was 18 years old. He had the equivalent of $5 in his pocket. He couldn't speak a word of English. Came through Ellis Island. He came from a hardscrabble farm, one of 12 children. Eventually, he made his way to the logging camps in northern Michigan. And there he took on a role of building the barracks for the loggers in that camp. In that role, he acquired a skill. He became a carpenter. Eventually, after the logging camps dissolved, he moved down to Detroit, started a small contracting company, and over the 25 years, starting small, built up to a point where in the late 20s, he had 3 large churches underway and under construction. The 29 crash hit, he lost everything. So as a young boy, when I went out to see Grandpa on his little home that he built out of scraps from his jobs on the lake, he was on a lake, so it was great for a small child to be out there. I accompanied him daily on his retirement jobs that he did for the neighbors. He took on small jobs for neighbors, hanging doors, doing a little remodeling.
Time. Mr. Walberg.
I had the privilege on several occasions to meet and to communicate with Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan certainly would be an ideal. But why? Well, for me, it was his unbelievable optimism, but not simply optimism, but optimism in American people and their exceptionalism. He knew how to go to the people, to develop allies with them, to do amazing things, including have the back up of not only America's people, but peoples of the world when he said, Mr. Gorbachev, take down this wall. I desire to have that same drive, optimism, and belief in American exceptionalism. The second, and I hesitate, I'd want to say my father. But I jump over to another man, Mr. Harper, who was a Grand Rapids treasurer for a number of years, going back into the 70s and 80s. I met him when I was first running for the State House, and he gave me 2 bits of advice that I have to summarize. He said, number 1, Tim, know the Constitution. Know what your oath of office means when you commit to uphold the Constitution of the state of Michigan and the United States. Live by Article 1, Section 1, if that's all. All political powers inherited to people, governments instituted for their equal benefit, security, and protection. If you'll do that, I'll trust you. Secondly, know your convictions. I didn't. I knew my opinions. But he said, know your convictions. They'll be somewhere between 5 and 12. Put them on a card, carry them the rest of your life, live by them, and you'll do great work for the people. Best advice I ever had.
Thank you. Mr. Rooney. I'm 37 years old, so the first president I remember was Jimmy Carter. He's not my hero. I remember, the first memory I have is when the helicopters crashed in the desert trying to save the Iran hostages. And I remember as a young boy how, it just seemed America couldn't get out of its own way. And then I remember Ronald Reagan. I grew up with Ronald Reagan, and Ronald Reagan taught me really from cradle to grave that America is a country set us apart. It's the shining city on the hill. We are an exceptional nation. His speech in Normandy for the anniversary at the landing there, I still watch that every year. Though he inspires me. When he says, you need to believe in less government, not just in size, but in scope, smaller taxes, and more freedom for the individual, I take those words to heart and I believe in them. That's the principles that I will live by. And then the second person, on a personal level, is my wife, and I know that that's easy to say, but I've known my wife for 25 years. We met in middle school when I moved to Florida from Pennsylvania. And throughout my whole career, whether it was going through officer candidate school for 10 weeks and then basic school for 6+ months after that, and then going to Iraq, she's always been my anchor and my support, especially with my son Blaze. You know, we never collapsed at the same time. She would support me when I was down, and I would support her when she was down. She's my hero.